Hello everyone, welcome back. This is the second part of the poem Blind Louise, written by George Washington Dewey. In this poem, he's talking about what courage means. It's not only about being in the army and displaying your courage and bravery in battlefield, but also in real life. How a person with his or her willingness can live life with utmost dignity, even if he or she is facing a lot of adversities. It's about displaying strength in life. And here the poet talks about a woman who displays such strength in life. So in the earlier video we have done what was explained in first and second stanza, where the poet says that this lady was able to predict that she would grow blind soon, and she just has one wish before she goes completely blind, before she loses her sight. She has just one wish. She's not complaining about it, she's not complaining about her disability, but she just has one wish. She's praying about something. And what is that one thing? That she wants to have the lovely memory of spring season as her last memory in her heart. She doesn't want to carry this memory of dull world which is covered with snow, which is completely dull. She doesn't want that memory in her heart forever. So she is just praying for one thing, that this beauty she wants to take away with her in her heart forever. Okay, let's continue with the third stanza. She dreaded that eclipse which might perpetually enclose sad memories of a leafless world, a spectral realm of snows. She is fearful of the fact that this darkness which is completely going to surround her would forever enclose sad memories of this leafless world in her heart. The world right now looks like a kingdom of ghosts, as the whole world is wearing the crown of snow, because it's winters. After autumn it's winters, then it's spring season. So she is eagerly waiting for spring season so that she is able to capture that colorful world into her heart forever, right? So she is fearful that this eclipse, I hope everybody knows what is lunar eclipse and solar eclipse, right? So here the poet is comparing that eclipse, that means complete darkness, with the darkness which is going to be surrounded, which is going to surround her actually. Okay, so here the poet has used metaphor where he is saying that she feared that this eclipse, that this darkness which is going to completely surround her, that means her blindness, would perpetually enclose. Perpetually means permanently. Okay, perpetually means permanently. Would permanently enclose, that means surround her with the sad memories of this leafless world, because it was autumn season. Then in autumn season all the leaves they shed off, right? And the world looks really dull, the nature looks really dull. So she is fearful that if she's surrounded by darkness before spring season, that then she will have to carry these sad memories of this leafless world, which looks like a kingdom of ghosts, because the whole world here is wearing the crown of snow. Okay, so a spectral realm of snows, this is, as you can see here, this is again a metaphor used by the poet, where he's trying to say that the winter landscape is being compared to a ghostly kingdom of snow, because everything in winter gets covered with snow. As you can see, the rhyming scheme here, it's might, enclose, world and snows. So might is A, enclose is B, world is C, and snows and enclose, that is rhyming, so it becomes B. So A, B, C, B is the rhyming scheme here. Okay, next we come to next stanza. She would rather that the verdure left an evergreen to shine within her heart, as summer leaves its memory on the pine. She says that she would prefer, rather means to prefer. Okay, so here the poet says that she would prefer that these green plants and leaves to leave that shine in her heart, as the summer leaves its beautiful brightness and its warmth on the pine, the memory that it leaves on the pine trees. That means it is forever. Those evergreen trees. Pine is an evergreen tree. So here the poet has used simile in this line where he says this is a simile. So here the poet is comparing the everlasting memory, okay, the permanent memory which is left by nature's greenery in the woman's heart. She wants that green plants, those green plants and trees, to leave an evergreen shine. Evergreen means forever, which remains forever. So she wants those green plants and trees to leave a forever shine within her heart. She wants that warmth of that summer. She wants that freshness of spring and the warmth of summer to perpetually, to permanently enclose within her heart. And here that warmth, that freshness has been compared to the summer's impact on evergreen pines. Okay, the evergreen pines, they grow much better in a hot and humid weather. So how the summer leaves its memory on the pine, that means the great impact, the everlasting impact that summer has, the warmth and the hot and humid weather which gets created in the summer season, the impact created by summer on the evergreen pine trees. The poet is comparing that impact with the impact of the natures on the woman's heart. Okay. So again, let's see the rhyming scheme. Left, shine, leaves, pine. It's same as the former paragraph. So left A, shine is B, leaves is C, and pine is again B. So we have same rhyme scheme. She had her wish. Her wish was fulfilled. For when the sun overhung his eastern towers and shed his benediction on a world of Maytime flowers. When were her wish fulfilled? So when the sun was hanging over the eastern towers, that means when the sun had completely risen from the east direction and he shed his benediction, his blessings on the world of Maytime flowers, that means on the nature. Her wish was fulfilled. She wanted to witness the spring season. She wanted to carry the warmth of summer season in her heart. So her wish was fulfilled when the sun rose in the east direction. It was hanging in the east direction at topmost, and it looked like the sun is sending its blessings to the earth in the form of its bright sun rays. So here the poet has compared the sun to a person, to a human being. So this is personification, because sun is an inanimate thing and human beings are living things. That means, so the poet here has used personification where he is imagining the sun to be a human being showering his blessings onto the world. So when, as you can see in the picture also, it looks as if the bright rays of the sun are blessing the earth, the nature, because the nature is glowing, right? As you can see, it's such a beautiful picture. It is looking like as if the sun is blessing the whole world. Okay, so for when the sun had risen in the east direction, it looked as if it is blessing the nature. And Maytime flowers, that means the summer season. In the summer season, the sun has risen and the nature is happy. The nature is blooming. In the last stanza, we found her seated as of old in her accustomed place, up midnight in her sightless eyes and morn upon her face. We found her seated. The poet says that when we came there, we found her seated as of old in her accustomed place. That means she was sitting by her old accustomed place, her familiar place where she used to sit every time. A midnight in her sightless eyes. Please look at this line very carefully. A midnight in her sightless eyes and morn upon her face. Here the poet is talking about two times of the day. First is midnight and another is morn. Okay, we found her seated in the accustomed place, in her familiar place where she used to go in the garden and sit. So she was sitting at the same place where she used to sit every time, and there was a midnight in her sightless eyes. Midnight, where it is completely dark, so her eyesight had been snatched away from her. She had become sightless. That is why the poet is saying, a midnight in her sightless eyes. She had become blind by now. By the time it was spring and it was summer season, she could not witness that. She had already become sightless. And in the last line of the poem, the poet says, a morn upon her face. There was midnight in her eyes, but there was morning upon her face. What does this mean? Morn is morning. There was morning upon her face. How is morning? It's bright, right? It's completely filled with warmth and freshness. So here the poet, when he is saying a very important line. He says that although she could not see spring and the darkness had descended upon her, but still she was sitting under those bright rays of sun with a hope in her heart. That morning upon her face reflects the meanings is that she still had hope in her heart to live her life with utmost dignity and a lot of happiness, and she was determined to overcome her handicap. She had this willpower that she will live her life with utmost respect and dignity in spite of her disability. She would not let that disability overcome her happiness, her spirit of living the life.